Or if I told you there's one exercise that you could do that works over 25 muscles of the body, and it works on your core strength, your balance, your leg strength, muscle imbalances, and your cardiovascular system. Well, that exercise is the step and press. And it's quickly becoming one of my favorite exercises with my over 50 clients because it is so effective and so functional and translates into everyday activities. If we haven't met yet, I'm Gavin. I co-own New Zealand's only fitness studio for people over the age of 40, and fitness coaching is all I do all day long. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to do this step and press exercise, give you some modifications, tell you how many sets you need, how many reps you need, how many times per week that you need to do this exercise to get the best results. Okay, before we do this exercise, it's very important that we do a little bit of a warm-up because we are using sort of our knees and the joints and our shoulders and things like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you to a very super quick warm-up, and then we'll jump into the exercise. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to mobilize our shoulders. We are lifting above our heads, and sometimes people get a little bit sore shoulders. Okay, so you're going to do 10 arm circles forward in this way. Now, what I want you to think about is that if you have got a sticky shoulder or sore shoulder, don't try and push into the end ranges where it hurts. Pick the range of movement that works the best for you. So you may have one arm that can do shorter circles than the other one. So work in the range of movement that works for you. So you're going to do 10 forward, then you're going to go 10 backwards just to warm up those shoulders. Then what we're going to do, we're going to work on the hips a little bit, okay? So I'm going to use a nice solid space, it could be a wall or a chair or anything, and you're just going to let the legs swing underneath the body. So you're not forcing it up and forcing it back, you're just letting them hang underneath, all right? So you're going to do 10 this way, then you're going to change, you're going to go 10 on the other way. Now the next leg swing I want you to do is a cross-body swing, but don't do this if you've got sore hips or had a hip replacement because it can cause some complications. So all you're going to do, you're going to face the support that you've been using, and you're just going to swing your legs across your body that way. You're going to go 10, and then you're going to go 10. I'm going to cut in real quick here just before we get started, and I want to tell you about a free strength program that we have that's been downloaded probably close to, I think, 10,000 times. It's been incredible, and so many people are loving the free workout guide. It's designed for people over 40 that use light weights to get stronger in the comfort of your own home using very minimal equipment. And if you would like to have a copy of that plan, visit the link in the description or the first comment, and you will get that delivered straight to your email inbox. Now, let's get back into the exercise. When you're trying to pick the best weight for this exercise, you need to figure out what's going to be the weakest body part. And the weakest body part for sure between our legs and our shoulders is going to be our shoulders. So you need to pick a nice weight that will cause you to be challenged at the 13 to 16 rep mark, okay? So if I was to have these dumbbells this way, with good form, I'm going to lift over my head up to about 16. And what you want to be is that when you get to 13, 14, it starts to get a little bit harder, 15, and when you get to 16, it needs to be quite challenging. And once you do that, you're going to figure out the right weight that you're going to use. Now, if you are going to use a resistance band, which you could do for this exercise, okay, it's the same thing. Grab a band, you can stand in a band this way, lock your shoulders up or your arms down, and you can push above your head this way. And again, you need to be challenged between a 13 to 16 rep mark. Now, if you are looking for a set of bands just like this, there's a link in the description by Clench Fitness who do amazing bands, certainly if you're in the US. But if you are not in the US, just Google it, find a good product that has good reviews and good stars, and you're going to be absolutely fine. So the way to do this exercise, I'm going to show you the main way first, then we're going to look at some modifications for you to make it easier or even harder, okay? So you're going to load it up this way. So your elbows are pointing downwards, your knuckles are pointing to the ceiling, and you're going to stand nice and close to this step. You're going to step onto the step this way, and as you stand onto the step, you're going to push above your head. Then you're going to slowly lower it back to position. So on this part, we're working on the power part of the muscles, and on the lowering part, you're working on the eccentric, which is more the control, and it's way actually stronger in general anyway. So you're going to accelerate up and slowly lower it back down. Accelerate up and slowly lower it back down. When you do about 8, you're going to swap over, and then you're going to finish off on another 8. So that will take us to a total of about 16 reps, which is why you need to be challenged at about the 16 rep mark. If you are going to use the band though, very similar principle. You're going to put the band on the step this way, okay? Lock your elbows down exactly the same way. And as you stand up, you just push. and slowly take it back down. So it's the same principle, you're just using a different tool to do that. Now, you may be thinking, oh, you know, how do I make it harder for argument's sake? Well, there's two ways you can do it. You can either use a higher step, which means that when you step on the box this way, you've got to do more with your legs to get the weights up, or you could use a heavier dumbbell for argument's sake. But just do what challenges you between a 13 to 16 rep mark. You may be wondering how to make it a little bit easier. You may find that when you stand on the box this way, you get a bit of knee pain, all right? So what you could do is you could drop the box down a little bit lower, and you're still going to do it. You're still going to be working on your balance component, the muscle imbalances that we have between each side. And because we're using dumbbells as well independently, that's going to help with the muscle imbalances as well. So you can just use a lower step, all right? Now, if you have got really sore shoulders and you can't lift above your head, then what we can do, we can modify it to a step and curl instead. So it's the same process. You put one foot onto the box this way, and as you stand up, you're going to curl this way. You're going to hit in your biceps and slowly lower it back down. And finding the right weight is going to be the same principle as you did before. Find a weight that challenges you at the 16 rep mark, and you're going to be good. It does work a few less muscles though, but it's going to be a really great modification for you. I talk about how many sets and reps that we need and how many times per week. Then we already know 16 reps is a number. How many times, how many sets? Then you want to be doing about 3 times. So what you're going to do, you're going to do a set where you get to your 16 reps. You're going to wait for 30 seconds, and then you're going to repeat the process. Rest 30 seconds and repeat the process. So 2 to 3 sets is going to be a sweet spot. And how many times per week? And if you did this 2 to 3 times a week, you're going to be doing really, really well. But although this is a great exercise on its own, it probably does need to fit in with full body workout program, which, by the way, if you want a copy of that, there's a link in the first comment or in the description. It's been downloaded nearly 10,000 times, and some of the reviews are absolutely amazing. So go and check that out there and get yourself a free workout. Now, if you are wondering, on a whole, how much weight should I use when lifting weights, and you may not be able to lift heavy weights to get the results, well, you don't have to. I actually made a video about that as well, so go and check that out in the top left corner, and I will see you over there.